In this tutorial, we're going to be building a quiz website using Elementor and THEWPBRO plugin. So for this tutorial, we're going to be building a type of website that is related to BuzzFeed.com that has, fun quizzes that you can take and you can just have fun and relax while taking those quizzes. So let me just show you the type of website we're going to be building today. Let me show you the design. So we're going to have this hero section here that says fun and games galore. Enjoy a variety of quizzes, something for everyone. So you can just have this here, and we have this background color with this little border around it. And moving on straight away to the quizzes, because you don't want to waste time on your landing page, you want to convert them as quick as possible. So we're going to be having this trending section here and this hot section. So you can have some quizzes that you want to appear on this page. So we're going to have this here in a grid format, and we're going to have it here in a list format. And then we have the next section that has, you can change this to anything you want, but for this tutorial it has hot and trending. And you can just have the list version here and then have some grid version here. Okay, moving on, we now have some quizzes down here, personality quizzes. You can have trivia quizzes. You can create as many columns as much as possible. So I've built this page to make it convert and make it look similar to what we have at BuzzFeed.com. And without wasting much time, let's get started with the tutorial. So to build this website, we need two things. We need to get a domain name and we need to get our hosting package. So the domain name is just the URL of your website. Think about google.com, facebook.com, THEWPBRO.com. That is what is called domain name. And then your hosting package is just where you're going to host your website files, so that when somebody visits your URL, they're going to see your website live on the internet. So to get your domain and hosting, you can check the link, the first link in the description below, to click my affiliate link to buy the domain name and your hosting package from Namecheap. I'm going to get a particular commission for each purchase at no extra cost to you. So this is how you can just support me for these free videos I'm making on YouTube. So alternatively, you can just come to your URL bar to type in THEWPBRO.com/refer/Namecheap. And here inside this bar, we're going to search for a domain name we wish to register. So let me just type in something that's, let's just type in .com, because we need to get the .com extension. It depends on your choice, but .com is the most popular and the most advisable for you to get. So let's click on search. So the domain name is available. We can just add it to cart. All right, so the domain has been added to cart. So what we need to do now is to add our hosting package too. So we need to come to hosting, and let's come to shared hosting. This is the cheapest and the best place to start as a beginner when you're building your first website. So here we are on this page. We're going to see different plans. We have the Stellar, Stellar Plus, and the Stellar Business. And I'm going to advise you to start with the Stellar Plus if you want to get started with Namecheap, because you can host, you're going to get a free domain name. And you can host unlimited websites, unlimited SSD, unlimited mailboxes. Meaning if you want to create a custom email, you can create unlimited, and you're going to have auto backup and website builder. So this is just the best place for you to start. But I understand if you don't have the budget for it, you can still start with Stellar, and later on you can upgrade to Stellar Plus or Stellar Business. So let's just start with Stellar, and make sure you choose the data center you want, be it US, UK, or the EU. So we're going to go with the US. And we're going to get started with the Stellar plan. So let's click on get started. And here it's going to ask you the domain name you want to connect to. So here's going to say new domain name. And we're going to choose the domain name we have in carts already, which is this one. And the billing cycle is going to be 1 year. And also the icon fee, which you can edit, is going to be added automatically for you. Now, before you purchase your domain name, there are some settings you need to activate if it is not activated by default. So let's just first of all click add to cart. Okay, so one of the settings I'm talking about is domain privacy. You want to make sure this is enabled, and it is free forever, so you don't need to worry about it. What this does is that it's going to hide your details from databases like whois.com, where people can just search for who hosts a website and just get their details and spam them with advertisements, emails, and all those type of offers that they might have for you. So if you click here and see what's the benefit, it says privacy protection service that hides your personal info in the public whois database. Keeps your data safe and helps you avoid spam, now free forever. So you can make sure to enable this. And also you can just check any other thing that you need, even though I do not recommend adding anything for now. You're going to get a free SSL, you're going to get free business email. So just confirm your order, and here you're going to have to create a new account. So you're going to put in your username, your password, you're going to confirm password, you're going to have your first name, last name, and email address. And after you create your account, you'll be able to pay with either cryptocurrency, you're going to be able to pay with your card, and also I think PayPal. Yes, you're going to be able to pay with PayPal too. And when you successfully made your payments, you're going to be redirected to your Namecheap dashboard. So let's get started with creating this website. So after purchasing your domain name and your hosting accounts, you're going to be redirected to a page like this. And this is the Namecheap dashboard where you can manage all your services, be it your domain or your hosting on your platform. So what I want to do now is to install WordPress on our domain name. Now to install WordPress, we need to come to hosting list. And right here, we're going to click on this button that says go to cPanel. So here is your cPanel, and your cPanel serves as the backend for your server. Here is where we're going to be installing WordPress on our domain name. So to install WordPress, we can just come to this search bar to type in Softaculous. I'm going to be using Softaculous app installer. So we're going to click on this. And here you can see the top script on the Softaculous app installer. And as you can see, WordPress is the #1 on the list. Now we're just going to click on install. Okay, so this is the installation panel, the installation dashboard for WordPress. Now, if you scroll down to the software setup, you're going to see where you can choose the URL where you want to install WordPress. So in your case, you're going to select the domain name which you just bought. And for my own case, I'm just going to select the domain name for this tutorial, which is quiz.uniquewatches.watch. So we're going to be installing WordPress on this domain name. And as you can see, we're going to be choosing the HTTPS version because Namecheap gives you free SSL, and the SSL is automatically installed the moment which you register your domain name. Now I'm going to be scrolling down to the next section, and this one can be edited later on after you finish installing WordPress. But so why not just do it now? So for the site name, we're just going to be giving it my quiz blog. So you're going to be giving this your site name which you want to use for your live website. So it could be, let's say for example, the site name for Google is Google, and the site name for my own website is the WPBRO. So we're going to be giving this what you want to use. It's not compulsory for it to be your domain name though, but it's compulsory for it to have a similar stuff to your domain name. And for this site description, we're going to be giving it a description of varieties of quizzes to choose from. So at the right hand side, we're going to be seeing this option that says admin account, and this is very important. This is what you're going to use to log into your website, to the back end of your website later on when you're building your website. So we're going to be giving it a username which we can remember. For this tutorial, I'm going to give it something simple. It's just going to be probably quiz. And then for the password, you're going to give it a strong password that you can remember. All right. And for the admin email, we're just going to be giving it one of my emails here. So we're just going to scroll down and let's remove these limit login attempts. And everything is good as it is. We're just going to click on install. So it is installing. It doesn't take too long. Within the next few seconds, you should be done. All right. It says, congratulations. The software was installed successfully. And this first link right here is what you can use to visit your website, while the second link is what you can use to visit the administrative part of your website. And in case you misplace this link, just know that the default login for your WordPress admin area is your domain name /WP-admin. Note that down. Domain name /WP-admin. So let's click this first link, and there you have it. This is your WordPress site, and this is the default look it has. It is running on the 2023 theme, and we're going to be customizing this later on in the course of this tutorial. Now let's click on the second link to log into our admin area, and here is your administrative part. This is where you're going to be controlling everything that has to do with the front end of your website. Be it you want to install a plugin, you want to install a new theme, you want to create a post, a page, whatever you want to do is going to be done from here. Now, one thing I like to do when I first of all install WordPress on my website is to get rid of all these notifications or modules that we have here. So what I'm going to do is to click on these screen options, and I'm going to untick everything because I don't really need anything. Although you might need maybe quick draft if you are a blogger, but for my own case, I do not need anything right here. So I'm just going to leave it for more important things that we're going to be filling in here later on in the course of this tutorial. So whenever I'm building a new website, there are a few things I like to do before I start diving into the design aspect. Now, the first thing we need to do is to come to settings and come to general. So in this section, this is where you can make these general settings for your website. Like I said earlier, you can still edit the site title or the tagline later on, and this is where you can do so. And you want to make sure that the WordPress address URL and the site address URL, they are both the same, having HTTPS. And then you can change your administration email. And also, if you want people to register on your website, you can take this option to enable registrations on your website. And for my time zone, I'm just going to change the time zone to UTC+1. You can just come here to save changes. Okay, so we've done the general settings aspects. Now let's go to permalinks. So under the permalinks, we're going to be changing the structure of our permalink, and we're going to be going with the post name because this is the one that is still SEO optimized the most. And we're just going to scroll down and save changes also. Now the next thing we need to do is to delete the dummy posts or pages we might have on our website. And to do so, we're just going to come to posts. We're going to select the sample post we have here, click on bulk action and move it to trash. We're going to do the same for pages. So come to pages and we're going to have this default privacy policy, and then we're going to have this sample page also. What we're going to do is to just tick both of them and select move to trash and select apply. And lastly, we're going to be deleting the themes and plugins that we're not using on this website. So we're going to come to plugins, and here we have 3 plugins installed for us. This is still useful, Lightspeed Cache, but we're going to delete this first and the second one. So select delete under bulk action and select apply. And lastly, we're going to delete the themes that are not needed for these websites, and we're going to be installing the theme we're going to be using for our website. So first of all, let's update this plugin, and let's come to appearance and select themes. So we see that the 2023 theme is active while we have the 2021 and 2022 theme installed on the website. First of all, we're going to add a new theme. So here we're going to be searching for a theme called Blocksy, and it's also supposed to be on this page. So here it is, it says Blocksy. We're going to install this theme and then we're going to activate it. Also, we're going to activate the plugin that comes with this theme, which is called Blocksy Companion. So just click on install and activate. And now let's go back to the appearance and select themes, and then delete the other themes that are installed on the website but we are not actually using. So we're going to select the 2021 and come down here to select delete. We're going to do the same for the remaining themes on this website also. Alright, so we're done with the basic customization of our WordPress website, and the reason why we actually need to do this earlier is just to make it look well organized, and also security wise, it is important for you to delete themes and plugins that you are not currently using on your website, and also make sure to keep them updated every time. Now let's install the plugins that we're going to be using in this tutorial. So we're going to come to plugins and select add new, and in the search bar here we're going to be searching for Elementor. So you're just going to select install now, and also you can scroll down to see to check Elements Kits, Elementor add-ons, and also install this one. So both plugins have been installed. What you can just do again is to install a plugin called Yoast, and this is what we're going to be using to set the SEO of our website. So we're going to install Yoast SEO, and finally we're going to be installing the plugin that we're going to use to enable the quiz option on our website. So here we're just going to search for Quiz Maker, and this is the plugin we're going to be using. So if you want to use the free version, you can just select install now, but for my own case I'm going to be using the pro version of this plugin, but you can still follow along with this tutorial. And before we move on, I want to let you guys know that I've actually uploaded a full long tutorial on this plugin sometimes around June, and if you're interested in learning how this plugin really works, I will advise you to watch that video, because in this video we're just going to be touching the features which we need to build the type of websites we're trying to build. But nevertheless, you can still follow along with this tutorial, and then you're going to get one or two things. And actually this plugin is self-explanatory. Every feature, every option in this plugin explains itself, and then you have a tooltip that you can overrun to just know what the feature or the settings is going to do to your quiz. So to upload my own, I'm just going to click on upload plugin here, and I'm going to select the file inside my file directory. So I have it here. What I'm just going to do is to select install now. So just come here to click on activate plugin. Okay, so we're just going to activate the plugins we installed earlier, also Elementor, Elements Kit Lite, and Yoast SEO. So I'm just going to click on bulk actions and I'm going to activate. Okay, now we've installed the plugins we need. Now is the time for us to start creating our quizzes. So the first thing we need to do is to hover on quiz makers, and then we're going to be creating a category first, and we're going to be creating a category for the question too. So we're going to be creating the quiz category and also the question category. So let's start with the quiz categories. So right here we're going to see the uncategorized one here, but you can just you can't even delete it. Let's just leave it as it is. What we're going to do now is to select add new, and while we're here we're going to be giving it a title. So for this tutorial we're going to be creating more of a personality type of quiz, not something related to education. So we can just give this let's give it love, So let's give it a description, a title of love, and then this description is going to be, these are quizzes related to love. So depending on the type of category you want to have for your quiz and your questions, you can just create as many categories as possible. So I'm just going to come here to save and close. Okay, so we've created a category for the quiz. Now we can do the same for the question. So let's come to question categories. And we're also going to be doing the same thing we did for the quiz category. So just come here, click on add new, and we're going to be creating a category of love also. And these are going to be questions related to love. So for the title, we're going to give it love. I'm going to give it love also. And the description, just something that we can just use to, describe the category to our users. And you can see you have varieties of tools to use here. You can add links, you can center, you can align it to left, center, or right. And you can also make it in a quote and any other thing I want to do. So let's just say these are questions related to love. And I'm going to come here to save and close. All right, so moving on, the next thing we need to do now is to start creating our questions. So to create our questions, we're going to come to questions, and I have a link down in the description below where you can just import the demo questions I have here with me. But we're just going to be creating one question together, a personalized type of question for us to just know how it works. And also, I've made a full long tutorial, I made it around June, and it's on my channel right now. You can just click the card above or the link down in the description below for you to watch that tutorial to understand how well this plugin is. So let's just come here. We have some demo questions here, which are mathematics questions. Just select all, and we're going to move them all to trash. Okay, so let's start with our first question. We're just going to select add new. And for these questions, there are something you can do. Instead of you to sit down and start writing out questions, especially personality type of questions for yourself, you can just have a type of ideas. You can just move to ChatGPT to even get the ideas instead of searching for ideas online. So you can just move to ChatGPT to ask it to suggest you questions you can create based on personality type of quizzes. And when it suggests those questions, you can now ask it to create the questions for you, and then based on real life data, and you're going to use those questions as your personality quiz. So let's take a look at one example I have here. In my docs here, I asked it to create some type of quizzes that would suggest the next place for vacation based on their responses. So yeah, it suggested few questions and then gave me the options to choose from, and it gave me 5 questions in total because that was what I told it to do. And based on my answers, it says if we chose mostly A, we should go to Indonesia, mostly B, Italy, mostly C, Colorado, and mostly D should be Japan. So that's what you're going to use for this type of website. So let's start with the first question. So actually the first question here, okay, let's say what type of climates do you prefer for your vacation? So we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it under the section here. And as you can see, we can add an image to this question, which is not really necessary, but you can just pick an image from your media library. And okay, I don't even have any image yet. We're going to be importing some images soon. So you can just pick an image and then add it here. And for the question type, you can leave it at radio. And this is the most important parts. And so it says A. We're going to copy A. All right. And we're going to paste this here, warm and sunny. And we're going to leave the keyword as A. And we're just going to select this as the correct answer. It doesn't matter for the type of quiz we are creating though, but the plugin needs you to select a correct answer for you to move on to the next stage. Now we're going to come back here to copy B, and we're going to paste it here and change the keyword to B. Now we're going to come back here to copy the last one, the third one rather, and we're going to paste it here and also change the keyword to C, while we're going to copy this. Okay, and we're going to click on plus to add a new column here or row. We're just going to paste it here, and this is going to be D. All right, so you can mix it up. You can put warm and sunny at the third place, but just make sure you select A so that by the time they pick the answers, they're still going to arrive at what you want them to like, what you want to suggest to them as per they picked A almost all true. So let me just return this back to C. So moving on, Question category, we're going to put it under love because we try to suggest where lovers can go for a vacation. So still a type of love question. And question status published. And also this doesn't need to be ticked. You can just leave everything else as it is. You can just leave everything as it is. And let's come here to save and close. So basically that's how you can just create a question using this plugin. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to import the questions I created on the demo website, and I'm going to just have about 5 of them here. So what I'm going to do is to select imports, and I'm going to just choose the file in my file directory, and I'm going to import the questions. Okay, so the questions have been imported successfully, and as you can see everything right there. So we are ready to start creating the quiz. Because we just created a question, we need to put all these questions under a quiz. Now to do that, we're going to come to this first option that says quizzes, and this is the most, well, I won't say it's the most important part, but this is very, very important for you to get the settings right. This is where you can just customize everything that is going to appear in the front end of your website, where people are going to be able to take your quizzes. Now we have a mathematics quiz here. We're going to leave this one here, and now we're going to select add new. Okay, so I already opened up the demo website I built, so to make it easy. Now for the quiz title, we're going to come here to copy this title, and I'm going to paste it right here. Now for the images, let me just import the images that we need for this tutorial. So let me select files. Okay, so I'm uploading 5 images that we need for this website. I'm going to insert it to this post. All right, so we have it there, and the description here. Did I even put the description here? I don't think I did, but we can just copy this dummy text I have here, and let me just show you how it works. Just paste the description there, and the category, we're going to move it to love. Okay, the status is going to be published, and we don't want to create a post for this quiz. We're going to be creating the post by ourselves manually. Now here is where we can add our question. So we're going to click on add questions, and you can filter the question by category, by tags, or you can just manually select them here. But right here we have just one category, so we can just select love, and it's going to bring out all of related questions. What we can do is to select all and select questions. So we ought to have about 6. All right, I think it's left out 1 which wasn't on the same page. So let's move to the next page, and let's select this and select the question. All right, so we have 6 questions right here. Now what we need to do is to move on to the next stage, which says styles. There are several settings you can change here. We have the theme section here. We can just leave it as classic light. It's okay as it is. Animation effect, I like fade better. All right, I like fade better. And the quiz color, you can just make this your brand color. Let's say your brand color is red, you can make it red. Let's say you want it to be blue, you can just select blue, and everything is going to change. And let's change the text color to white. Oh no, not this text color, rather. Let's return this back to black, and I think it's going to be the button's text color to white. All right, let's just move on to the next stage, which says answer styles. Everything is okay as it is, and we can just scroll down, and also everything is okay as it is. Okay, now this is the button size I was looking for earlier. We can just select probably large. Let's see how it looks like. It looks okay. Scroll down to the bottom again. You can also add your custom CSS. You can change the border custom radius. Maybe you don't want any radius there, you can leave it there. Maybe you want to add more to make it more rounded, you can also add that. And you can also change the padding for the button. Let's say I like to use 40 and 20. We can just I think it's 50. You can just leave it like this. And so this is how you can just play around with the customizations for this quiz for the box here. And one thing we need to do is to okay, I don't think it's on this settings. We can move to the next one that says settings. Now it says show quiz head information. You can hover on this tooltip to explain what this setting is going to do. So it says enable to show quiz title and description. So I don't want to show the title, I don't want to show the description. I think that's what I did here, just the start button, because we also have the title here, and we can put in the description we like here. So we can just make this more focused on starting the quiz. So it says enable to start, we don't want that. Random answers, we don't need that. You can use all these for educational quizzes though, but we don't need that also. Question bank, we don't need it for this quiz. And we can just check through. When you're creating your quizzes, you can check through everything and also make the questions required. We need this. And show messages for right and wrong answer. We don't need that. Explanation, we don't need that. Quiz author, we can just turn that on because we have it here created by Eben. Quiz creation dates, you can also turn that on if you're interested. And average rates, we need to turn that on so that it can propel users to start taking the quizzes. Enable progress live bar, you can also turn that on too, and turn on percentage view. So moving on, everything is okay as it is. Everything is okay as it is. Now let's move to the next page. Let's move to the next page, which says result settings. All right, so let's just check everything. We don't really have anything to enable here. We can also enable the progress bar. And so let's just, okay, yeah, we need to work on something here. Now under the intervals, we're going to change it to by keywords. Okay, we're going to change it by keywords, and for the first keyword, which is A, we're going to tell them to go to United States of America. And let's say if they chose B, United Kingdom. If they chose C, they can go to France. And if they chose D, they can come to Nigeria. All right, and you can also add an image, and I'm going to suggest you add GIFs to these ones to make it more, engaging. But you can add an image like JPEG. So let's put in one just to see how it's going to look like, and let's put in one image for these two. Okay, so everything is looking good on this page. I don't think we have anything to do now. Limitation users, here you can select maximum number of attempts per user. You can make this only for logged in users, only for selected rules, access only selected users, limitation count of takers, and password for taking quizzes. We don't need to turn on anything here. We just want anybody to come take the quiz as much as possible. User data, here you can grab some data about people that are going to be taking the course. So you can have an information form before the quiz, and you can select what form, details you want to collect from your users. You can just put in maybe name, and you want to collect their email address. So you can just collect both of them and start gathering up your email lists. But we're not going to be turning that on. We're going to disable it, and we're just going to leave everything as it is and move on to email and certificates. We don't need this. Also, this can be useful when you're running a type of educational type of quizzes. And integrations, we don't need to integrate anything also. So let's leave it there. Let's say you want to collect payments before they take the quiz. You can enable the PayPal settings. You can enable Stripe also, and several type of integrations like Zapier, ActiveCampaign, and so on and so forth. So let's go back. We actually need to enable a setting which I've skipped, and the setting is what is going to make them to answer those quizzes on just one page without having to move on to the next page. So let's go back to settings. Okay, so this is the option I'm looking for that says display all questions on one page. So let's just tick this and we should be good to go. So let's scroll down and let's save and close. All right, so what we can now do is to copy the shortcode here. So we're going to copy the shortcode and we're going to come to posts and select add new. So let me just open this in a new tab. So starting from here, we're going to put in a title, and the title we made for this quiz is this. Let me just paste it right here. And the description, we're going to come back here to copy the description here, and I'm going to paste, let me remove this. We're going to paste the description here. Okay, now for the quiz, we have to select a new block. So we can just select this plus icon here and search for shortcode, and we're going to be pasting the shortcode we copied. So paste the shortcode there and any other information you might want to put on this page. So okay, coming down here, this is where you can set your SEO settings. So you can have the question, the post title here, and you can just remove this site title. It's not really needed, and you can leave it like this. So you can also put a meta description that's going to help you rank better in search. So let's say this is your meta description. You can just copy this and scroll down here, paste it there. Okay, and to know whether you are on track, you can just check the SEO analytics to see what you need to fix and what you did well and what you can just improve. So everything is looking good as it is. I just come to posts And here we can create a category also. Probably this is a personality quiz. You can add new category. You can say personality. Say personality. And for tags, you can add tags that can help you rank also. And for featured images, you can select featured images. We're going to be using this vacation image and we're going to set image. What we just need to do is to publish. So we've published the post. Let's view this post in a new tab. Okay, so we have it here. We have the quiz here, and let's just click this button to start. All right, it says, what type of climate do you prefer for your vacation? We're going to choose warm and sunny. For the next one, we're going to choose relaxing on the beach. And for the third one, we're going to choose the first option. So now we have 3 United States option picked, and let's just pick one more. So with friends and family, and let's just say we chose B and B. By the time we're going to see the results, we're going to be, suggested to visit the United States of America. So let's click on see results. It says United States of America, and we can just remove this score. Let's do that real quick. Let's come back to quizzes. We don't need to show any scores for this type of quiz. Let's click on edit. So right here, we're just going to come to result settings, and okay, we're going to enable this option that says hide score. I'm going to remove this option that says enable progress bar, and we're going to come here. Okay, and before we leave also, we can check. I don't really know this, so we can remove this from the options of sharing, from the sharing options, and we can leave every other one as it is. So one thing we can also do here is that we can add some settings. Let's say, for example, we want them to visit Nigeria. We can just click on this drop down icon here, and we're going to have a redirect URL. So this can be probably someone you've partnered with. Maybe you've partnered with a travel agency, and just put their link there for maybe best deals for traveling out of the country to Nigeria, to be specific. And here you can just say you can visit Nigeria. You can visit Nigeria, and you can just tell them to please wait for the countdown timer to get the best travel deals. So to get the best travel deals, and then you can just put in a URL there. Let's say the website is the THEWPBRO, which is my website. You can just tell them to wait to get the best travel deals, and then after 5 seconds, you can just put the delay seconds you want, the redirect delay in seconds. You can just put 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds, you're going to be directed to this website. And I think HTML should work. So if you can put in HTML tag here, you can just highlight whatever you want to make as a link. But let's just use this option in this tutorial, as I don't know whether that one is going to work. So let's come here to select save. Okay, so our changes have been saved. Let's come back to our quiz and let's refresh. Okay, so let's take the quiz one more time, and this time around we're going to be choosing Nigeria. So let's start the quiz, and we're going to choose D. We're going to choose D, and one last D. Okay, we skipped one. Let's choose solo. Okay, and let's see results. All right, says you can visit Nigeria. Please wait for the countdown timer to get the best travel deals. And 3, 2, 1, go. It's going to redirect to my website, which you can get the deals as we said in this tutorial. So as you can see, it's redirected to my website, and this is just loading up. So that's how you can just do that. That's one thing you can do to spice up your website and then open up another way of monetization through brand deals and collaborations. So what we're going to do now is to customize the posts. As you can see, if you look at these posts on this website, it looks different from this. So we're going to make it look like this, and also we're going to start the design process with Elementor. So first of all, let's quickly customize this website. So we're going to click this button at the top that says customize. So we're going to be doing some basic customizations, and you can just try to make it tailored to your own type of design. Let's come back here. For the title, we're going to make it bolder, and we're going to change the weight. So let's come here to click on edit, and we're going to come to design, and for the title font, we're going to change the weight. We're going to go for something like probably 800, and we're going to change the size to about, let's say, 45. Okay, So I think we're looking good. And let's add a sidebar. Let's come back here and come to sidebar. Okay, we have it here, sidebar. And we're going to select any sidebar of our choice. Let's just go with 2. And okay, the sidebar has not appeared. Let's just go with 2 and enable it for all type of devices: desktop, tablet, and mobile. And if you like, you can also make it a sticky sidebar. Okay, so moving on, we can just come back here and visit a single blog post, and we're going to change this to right sidebar. And by that time, the sidebar should appear. So we have it here, and if you should scroll down, the sidebar is going to be sticky. Okay, we need to do something also. We need to enable featured images. Okay, we need to enable the share box, and we need to enable author box, and also we can enable post navigation. So we have everything enabled here, and what we can do is to rearrange some of them. Okay, so we can choose related posts. We can enable that too, and we can come to design. And for featured images, we can click on these featured images and enable it to appear on mobile device and bring it below the title. Okay, it's looking good as it is now. Let's collapse this. All right. For this text, I feel there's a lot of space between both lines, between both texts. So we can just reduce the line heights, and line heights we can just make it 1.1, and this is going to be EM 1.1 EM. Okay, maybe 1.2. Maybe 1.2. That should do. Everything is looking good. Let's just publish the change. And what we need to do is to create a menu. So let me show you how you can create a menu. Let's come to menus and let's create a new menu. So this menu, we're going to be calling it primary because it's going to be the primary menu for our websites. And we're going to make it the mobile menu also, and we're going to click on next. Now we can add the items you want. So you can add as many items as possible to your menu, but just make them the most important ones that you can, what you want your users to visit when they come to your website. So we can just click on add items, and we can add the home link, for example, and then let's just add let's just add a new page. Let's just add a post. Let's say this post, you can add it to the menu also. But I don't recommend you adding a post to the menu. I recommend you add a page that has the list of quizzes or your post on your website, something like a blog page or something of sort. So let's add categories also. Okay, don't let us add a category. Let's just click on publish. All right, so that has been published, and we can just do one thing. You can edit the header too. You can select what you want to appear on the header. For this one, we're going to put the logo, the menu, and then the search icon. You can put any other thing at the top or below the your header. So one thing I can just do is to reduce the height also, because I feel the height of this header is too much. So we can just make it 70. And you can change the logo. When you click on this icon here, you can just come here to change the logo. So we can just select the logo. And okay, I don't have any logo I can select here. Let me just quickly upload the logo from my browser, from my computer. So let's select this Elementor icon here, Elementor logo here, and we're going to add it to these websites. All right, so we're going to put it there as our logo, and we're going to disable the site title. Okay, so we have the logo there, and the menu also for these websites. Let's come here, select this menu, and we're going to choose the menu we created the other time. We created the primary menu. Okay, let's publish and refresh this page for it to appear. Okay, so let's come back here to select the menu, and we're going to choose the primary menu. Okay, so let's publish that. You can also play around with several settings, especially under the typography. Let me show you quickly. Under the typography, you can change the fonts and the size and everything that has to do with the button the typography of this website. So let's say you want to change it, the font family for your text. We can just come here to select the base fonts, and you can choose something else. Let's say you want trebuchet. You've changed it, and let's just revert everything back to the default. So let me just select the default. So that's how you can just change all settings. Let's say you want to change your H2 tag. So we can just come here to select another font. Let's say impacts. Okay, this is different from, this is the blog posts. You can change this under the blog post section. When you click on edits, Right click on edit, you can come to design, and here you can change this to let's say impact. So this one is going to change also. So let's just return everything back to default, and let's come back to typography, and let's change it back to default also. You can just customize everything based on your own preference and your own need, and everything is looking good as it is. Let's publish the page. And like I said, you can change the colors also. There are several color palettes for you to use that has been created by the creator of this plugin, but you can also create your own by manually changing all these colors right here. So I won't be doing that. I will just be using the default one we have here. So let's move on to the next stage. And also, it's important for you to know that you can change the colors for this share icon too. You can make it more colorful. Let me show you how you can do that real quick. So we need to come to single posts. Another single post, we're going to come to share box. Under share box, we're going to add some other options. Let's say you want to add WhatsApp, you want to add Telegram. You can just select as many as possible. Now under the design option, okay, I think before we move to the design option, one out of these two needs to show you my internet browser is not loading it, but let me just select, and hopefully we're selecting the right thing. Okay, so we can choose this first type, or we can choose the second type. I think I'm going to go with the second type, and we're going to select the official color. All right, so here we have it. If you choose the first type, this is how it's going to look like. Let me just show you that real quick. This is how it's still going to look like, but if we choose the second type, we're going to be able to choose the official color. So that's everything about this. Let me just publish the changes. Okay, now let's visit our website. So as you can see, we have a similar type of page to what we created in our demo page here. So by the time you have other posts, you're going to see the previous post is going to be at the bottom here, because we have just one post on this website. That's why we can't see it. And related post also, you're going to see it at the bottom here by the time you create more posts on your website. All right, so now let's move to the final stage of this tutorial, and let's create the design we have here. So by the time we visit our demo page, we're going to see the design we have. It's a very simple design, and that's what we're going to be doing next in this next section. So while in our WordPress admin area, we're going to come to pages, and we're going to select add new. So for the title, for the page title, we're going to give it something like probably withe websites, and we can just say take quizzes for free. All right, and we're going to scroll down, and under the slug we're going to put in home under the slug for the page, and you can do the same thing under the URL section here. You can just put in home. All right, so we're going to publish this page, and also as usual you can set your featured image. Let's just choose something for the featured image. Let's say this. Can set something for your featured image, and before we also move on, we can come to templates here, and we need to select Elementor full width. Because we need to design with Elementor, and we want Elementor to be able to design on the full width of the website, meaning that is from the starting of the website to the end. So we're just going to update the changes, and we're going to load up this page with Elementor. So we are here inside Elementor editor. You can just click on continue. And this is where we're going to be designing this page that we have here. Now, let me close this navigator and click on got it. And also, we're going to close this notification. All right. Now, first of all, let me click on this icon and user preference. We're going to select dark mode. Okay. Okay, so that's what we can do about that. And let's click on these, 9 icons here to start designing. So here are the widgets we can choose from to create this website. Now, starting with the hero section, which is this one, we're going to add a container. First thing we need to do is to add a container. So we're going to click on this plus icon, and we're going to choose this container option here. All right, so we have the text here that says fun and games gather, enjoy a variety of quizzes, something for everyone. So we're going to copy this. And we're going to come back here to select this icon to visit all our widgets, and we're going to drag in the heading, and also we're going to be using the text editor. So we have both of them here right now. So for the title, we're going to paste in what we copied. All right, and we're going to come to style to edit this title. So over and come on style, and here we're going to be changing the typography. So we're going to change this font to around 70, okay, and the width would be around 80 to make it, you know, bold and thick. And we're going to change the font family to, let's say, Inter. Let's use Intertight. I think that's what I used for this. All right. So, and also let's scroll down to the line height, change it to EM, and we're going to use 1.1. That works best in my own opinion. So let's see how it's looking like so far. Okay. Now what we need to do is to edit, to style this next one too, which is our sub heading. And we have white, and okay, we can't use white now because we've not changed the background color, and let's do that right now. So over on this container, and then you're going to come to the styles, and we're going to choose classic, and we're going to edit the color. We're going to use 0055DE. Okay, now we can change the color for this text to white also, and the same thing for the subheading. We're going to come to styles, and we're going to select white, and the typography too, we're going to use Intertight, and the font for that is going to be 20 pixels. All right, so let's copy the text we have here. It says enjoy entertainment suitable for all ages. So come to content, and we're going to copy and paste. All right, enjoy endless and featuring a diverse quiz library with something suitable for everyone. I think I broke the text here. All right, so everything is looking good as it is. So for the container, we need to, make some customizations for everything. So let's edit the container and come to advanced. So here we're going to be adding 80 to the padding all through. Okay, we're going to be adding 80 to the padding all through, and you can see we have a yellow border here. We can just come to let's scroll down, let's come to styles, and let's come to border. So we're going to be enabling this box shadow. Okay, now under the color, we're going to be using a yellow color, any type of color you want, and we're going to increase the opacity. We're going to increase the opacity, and let's choose the color we want, and let's use this color, but let's go for something that looks more yellowish. Okay, now what we need to do is to remove the blur, make it 0, and horizontal we can put in 10, vertical we can put in 10. So let's see whether that one works. Okay, so we have something similar to this, and it is looking good so far. Now what we need to do is to move on to the next section. For the next section, we have the post, we have a trending tab, and we have another one beside it, like sidebar that has the hot version, like the quizzes that are trending also. What we're going to do now is to select this plus icon, and we're going to choose this structure right here. What we can just do is to reverse it. Under the layout, we're going to come to direction, and we're going to reverse. Okay, what we're going to do now is to just add this heading here and also these widgets. So what I'm going to do is to copy this. Let me right click on it and select copy. We're going to come back here, and I'm going to paste it. So we have here, it says trending. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it right here. And if you're wondering how I got this emoji, I used a Chrome extension. Actually, the extension is not installed on my Chrome right now. It's installed on Edge, but you can just search for the extension store, the Chrome extension store, to select any type of extensions that has emoji extensions, and that's how you can have it right here. So moving on, we're going to come to styles, and we're going to change the color to, let's say, 121212, and the typography, everything is going to change. We're going to reduce this to around 50. We're going to reduce it to 50, and maybe we can reduce the weight also. We can just reduce the weight or leave it as it is. So let's move on to the next stage. So for the first container here, I'm just going to add a little bit of padding. So we're going to select this edit container and come to advanced, and I'm going to be adding 30 pixels all through. Okay, so everything is looking good. Now moving on to the next stage, which is adding these widgets right here. we're just going to come back here, and we're going to search for widget that is called blog posts, and this is from Elementor kits. So we're going to drag these widgets here. Okay, so first thing we need to do while the widget is active on our website is to change the layout style from block to grid with thumb. So that's the one we're going to be using, and we're going to customize this. So how many posts do we want to show per row? On this website we chose 2, so let's come here to select 2, and we're going to be disabling the content. We're going to be disabling the read more, and the query we can select what post we want to show here. So we can just have a category on our website that is going to have a list of posts or quizzes that are currently trending on your website. So that's the type of trick you can use to have this type of sections on your website. Now the thing we need to do now is to move to the styles. So here is where we can edit the widgets to make it look like this. So first thing first, we need to get rid of the background color. We need to get rid of the background color, and we can just come down here. You can scroll down here to change the color. It says background type, and we can just scroll down this opacity. Okay, and under the box shadow too, we can scroll down the opacity for that. Okay, now it's looking good. Now we need to scroll down to title. Another title, we're going to give it a color of 121212, and we're going to change the typography. We're going to select intertight because that's what we're going to be using. And one thing you can just do is to change the global settings, but I'm not going to be doing that. You can just come here to change the settings, and let's say site settings, and here you can change the global font and the global colors, so you don't have to keep entering intertight or any type of font family you want to use. We're not going to be doing that in this tutorial, so let me just keep on putting in the fonts manually myself. Now what we need to do is to increase the font size because this looks really small, and how we can do that is by scrolling down, coming to title, and back at typography we're going to change this to 25, and the line height also should be around 1.1 em. And also we want the over color to change, because you can see with the over on this is going to change to blue. Now we can just come to the over tab, and the color for that is going to be 0055 DE. This is my best color for blue so far. Okay, now I think we should have something similar to this. Okay, now let's save our changes. So moving on to the next container that we have here, we're going to be putting in a widget. And once you can just do is to first of all copy this. We're going to paste it here, and we're going to change the title to hot. Now moving on, we're going to come back to search for posts widgets. Okay, I think it is post lists. All right, so we're going to drag this here also. So we're going to show post by categories. Okay, and here we can see we have featured image, and then we have the texts, we have the title. So let's edit that. Let's come to settings, show featured image. We're going to tick this. Okay, now what we need to do is to go to style and style it to make it look exactly like this. So what we need to do under that is to change the the fonts, the font size, and every other thing. So under the style, we're going to scroll down to text, and we're going to change the text color to 1212, and for the over we're going to be using, we used a red color here. Okay, we're going to be using red. We're going to be using red. So there it is. And we're going to change the typography. We're going to change the typography to intertight. Okay, and font size should be around 17, and the font weight should be around 500. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, it's looking good so far. One thing we can do is to add a padding. Let's add a padding to this container in general. So let's just click on this edit container, and let's come to advanced, and here we're going to select, we're going to put in 40 all through. Okay, we're going to put in 40 all through, and everything should be good as it is. For the second container also, we're going to add a padding of 30 all through. So let's put in 30. Okay, now everything is balanced. Now let's move on to the next stage. The reason why everything is not filled up is because we have just one post on this website. On this website, I have about 5 posts that I created. So the more you have your posts, the more your website is going to look appealing to people. So moving on to the next stage, what we're going to do for this is very simple. We just need to duplicate this first section. And before we start duplicating, let's work on our responsiveness. So click on this responsive mode, and we're going to have 3 options: the desktop, the tablets, and then the mobile. So let's start with the tablets. So for the tablets, everything is still looking good, but we can sure customize some things. So let's select this heading and let's come back here to make it 50. Okay, this looks good. And then this text, we can reduce it to something better. So we can just reduce the text, come to style, and maybe let's say 15. Oh, too small. Let's say 16. Okay, let's leave it at 16. And this looks good. So let's come to mobile also. And for mobile, we're going to edit the container and come back to advanced. Now for the mobile section, we're going to have, let's say 40 at the top, 20 at the right, 40 at the bottom, 20 at the left. And for the font size, we're definitely going to reduce that also. Let's reduce this to about 40. Okay, I think this is looking good for the mobile. What you can just do is to add more, space. Let's add more padding to the top and bottom. And this is looking good. Now for the next stage, for the next section, we can just do one thing. Let's go back to tablets. And for the tablet option, we're going to select this first container. We're going to select the first container and we're going to come to layouts. So here we're going to change the width to percentage and we're going to give it 100%. And same thing for this one also. Come to layouts. And the width, we're going to change it to 100%. And then we have to come to edit the section, the container. And for the direction for the tablets, we're going to choose :vertical. Okay. Now we have something that looks good on the tablet version. We can just do something. Let's reverse it. Okay. I think it looks better this way. It looks better this way. So moving on to the mobile version. So the mobile version, that should be easy to fix. What we can just do is to edit the whole container itself. We're going to edit the whole container itself, and for the mobile version, we're going to come to advanced. We're going to unlink everything, and we're going to start by giving it, let's say 60 to the top, 60 to the bottom, 10 to the right, 10 to the left. Okay, and for the button, we're going to reduce that to around 45. Okay. And this looks good on mobile too. What I can just do is to maybe reduce the padding for this first container, and let's come back to advanced and let's make it maybe 15. Okay, this looks good. And you can just, don't worry about it. So far you see this option here that shows the values for which device you're reducing the values for. Everything is sorted. So the settings you give this is not going to affect the desktop version or the tablet version because we are editing the mobile version. So don't worry about messing up your settings or your designs. So let's update the page. So now let's come back to our desktop modes, and now we can duplicate in piece. So let's duplicate this section. And since we've duplicated it, we don't need to edit the responsiveness again. And for this one, I think we flipped it. Okay, so let's flip it right now. So let's select this edit container and let's reverse this. Okay, I think what we actually need to do is to change the widgets, to move it from one side and move the next one to the other side. So let's just reverse it back, and what we're going to do now is to transfer the details from these widgets, or we can just do one thing. Let's return it back to how it was before, and let's edit this container. Let's give it the highest percentage. Let's give it probably 70%, and for this one, let's give it maybe 30%. Okay, so we've gotten the same, the same settings that we have here, but we just need to work on the styles and every other thing. So back here to this widget option, for this one, we're going to just show one post. We're going to show one post, and for this one, we're going to change the, the size of the image and add some other meta to the post list. So we can just edit this and come to settings, so we can show meta. So we can show the date meta and probably the category meta too. And the featured image size, we can just leave it at large. And when we come to styles, we should be able to come to featured image and probably increase the width. Okay, so let's leave it at maybe 150. Let's say 150. Okay, I think it's even more than 150. Probably we should just increase it down up to the highest. Okay, so now what we can do is to reduce probably the padding for this one. So let's make it 0. Let's make it 0, and for this one also maybe it should be 0. Come to advanced. Okay, so this is looking good. This is looking good, and then we're getting somewhere. Now for the last section, which is, creating just, several types of quizzes in a column. So moving on, we need to create a new container. So we're going to be using this first option, and we're going to copy this text. So copy, and we're going to come here to paste, and right here we have personality quiz. So paste it there. Now what we're going to do is to copy these widgets. It's the same widget we're going to be using, and we're going to paste the widgets right here. Now what we can just do is to change the post per row to 3, and we're going to be enabling some metadata. So let's come back here, and under the metadata, let's choose the date, let's choose author, and let's choose probably category. All right, now let's go to styles, and under the meta, we're going to change the color. So for the color, we're going to have 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, and for the family, we're going to, for the typography rather, we're going to change the font family to intertite. So we have it right here. It says quiz, date, and every other thing as it is. So let's just come down here to update the page, and what we can just do is to just duplicate this whole thing, and we can just keep on giving it several type of names we want. For the next one, we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste it here. So let's edit these widgets, and we're going to come to style, and we're going to come to featured image. So right here, we're going to select this box shadow option, and all right, we're going to give it 10, and we can just remove the padding, just put in 0 here, and the border radius also you can put in 0. So here we have it. This is the border for the featured image. So let's just update the changes, and that is all for the landing page. That is all for the landing page that we have here. So let's visit our page and let's see how it looks like. So let's open this in a new tab. All right, so this is the page that we just built now, and this is the one I built earlier on before we started this tutorial when I was practicing. So here we have it. It says phones and games galore, varieties of quizzes, something for everyone. So okay, so it says the next one we have the trending section, and then we have the hot section, and for this one we flipped it. We have the hot, and you can also change the name to something else. So we have the hot, and then we have the trending. And the next section we have the personality quiz, which is going to have 3 on a row, and then the trivia quiz is going to have 3 on a row too. And one thing we can just do for this, since we edited this section without editing this, so we can just come here, and let's copy the styles for this. Copy, and let's come to trivia quizzes, and let's paste this style since it is the same thing, and let's update the changes. And if you can see, it's going to be responsive across all devices because we already made the settings before we start duplicating the pages. So let's come back here to refresh this page, and as you can see, the changes have been effected on this section too. Okay, so for the last part of this tutorial, let's just work on the basic customization settings for this website that we didn't work on earlier on. So for example, if you see this footer, it still has this, the link for the developer of this theme. So let's come to customize. So here we're going to come to footer, and the footer area we're going to come to copyright. So we're going to change this back to built by your business name. So let's just say quiz. All right, and let's publish the change. So here is where you can put in the several widgets that you want. So let's put in widgets area 1, widgets area 2, and widgets area 3. So here you can just edit the widget that you want to appear here. So let's say you want a paragraph, something like about us for your website. You can just paste in the text here. Let me see whether I have a text copy to my clipboard. All right, let's just paste this text here. And let's give it a title of about. Let's make this bold and okay. Let's just leave it as it is. And okay, let me just make this. Let me change the style, but I think it's going to affect everything here. Yep, it's going to affect everything. But you can add another section that is going to serve as the heading. So let's just put this as the heading. Let's make this about, and let's move this to the top. Let's delete all this, and you can just make this probably H4, and publish the changes. For the next one, you can decide to add links. Let's do that one also. Let's search for navigation. So navigation menu, you can select the menu. We're going to be using the primary. Let's just make this links and let's publish it. All right, so let's view the page in a new tab. Let me just open a new tab and let's open quiz.uniquewatches.watch. And there you have it. Here is our footer. We can see the copyrights we made, the links, and the about us. You can also customize your footer also by clicking on this middle row, this settings icon. So you can select the columns you want. So maybe you want 6, maybe you want 2, maybe you want 1. And also you can edit the design. Probably you can change the background color. You can change the background color here. So probably let's say you want black. Scroll down, everything is going to change to, okay, this is like a deep blue. Let's say you want black, everything is going to change to black. And in that situation, you're going to change all your fonts to white. Let me change all my fonts to white. And my font title should be white also. And this text needs to be white. So let's come here, font color, make it white. All right. And okay, the heading is not affected because there is another settings that can make the changes affect on heading. Doesn't really matter. This is the demo website. It's not something that is going live. And one thing we need to do also, if you should visit the home page of this website, the home page we designed is not what is currently showing as our home page. So to fix that, we're going to come to our WordPress admin area. So let's open this dashboard. So right there, we're going to scroll down and we're going to come to settings and we're going to come to reading. So here we're going to choose, it says your home page displays. We're going to select a static page and we're going to choose quiz website. So you can also create a post page and select this page right here, but we don't have a post page now. And we're just going to come here to save changes. And by the time we refresh our home page, the changes will have been effected. So here we have it, the changes have been effected, and when we visit our home page, we're going to see this page that we designed in Elementor as our home page. And there you have it, guys. This is how you can create a quiz website using the quiz maker from THEWPBRO and using Elementor page builder. If you need any other customizations that I didn't mention in this tutorial, probably you want to secure your website from hackers, you want to set up your SMTP server, I have several tutorials across my channel that can help you out with those tutorials, with those help that you might need. So you can check them out after this tutorial. And in my next video, I'll try to pack everything all in one place. But this being my first type of long form tutorial I'm going to make, I'm trying to take it step by step. So if you need any other type of help, you can check my channel for the tutorials. And if I don't have the tutorial on my channel, you can search for it on YouTube. So thank you for watching. Make sure to check out the plugin using the link down in my description below. And also don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment for anything you might have for me, be it a video suggestion, be it anything I missed, be it any nice words for me or anything you want to say. Just drop it down in the comment section below and I'll be sure to check them out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.